the tea? What's 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 the tea?
Hello everyone, Water Bear here. And this video is for my fellow Aquarians, alright? The other water bears out there, what's up y'all, okay? I don't know if you've heard, I feel like everybody's been talking about it, but the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter that recently occurred on the winter solstice occurred in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, okay? 0 degrees of Aquarius, the start of Aquarius, alright? And so for all of 2021, Jupiter and Saturn will be moving through Aquarius, okay? And then Jupiter, he moves through a sign, like it takes him a year to move through one sign. And so he'll continue on, but Saturn takes 2.5 to 3 years. So he will continue through Aquarius through 2023, okay? So Aquarians, up until 2023, we're very important, okay? And we have Saturn and Jupiter moving through our sign, all right? And so the message is, I want to just kind of bring up, I literally was just looking back 12 years when Jupiter was in Aquarius, like the last time, okay? It was late 2008 until like early 2010, okay? And I was reflecting on all that occurred, okay? Because Jupiter rules expansion, Jupiter rules, the different new experiences, new opportunities in our life. And so whenever he passes over your sun, which is what's going to occur to my Aquarians, okay? And if you have, your Aquarius rising or Aquarius moon, this is also very pivotal as well. But I'm mainly speaking to my just Aquarius suns, okay? You're born January 20th, February 20th, okay? Around that time, okay? When Jupiter passes, you have a reset, and Jupiter gives you a new 12-year journey of expansion. Literally, that's what it is, okay? And at that time, you expand in some way, and then you see that expansion grow for 12 years. So Jupiter's back now. So just kind of pay attention to what was going on late 2008 to like late 2009, okay? Because it's insane just kind of looking back, because this same energy is going to be coming in 2021. And our birthdays coming up, especially if you're born in the first like half of Aquarius season, and your sun's from 0 to like 15 to 16 degrees of Aquarius, you're really going to have a very expansive year because Jupiter is going to be by your sun for your birthday, which is going to set for your solar return, okay? Which is like really great, okay? I'm excited for this year coming up. So just look back, my Aquarians, okay? Because we're now entering a new cycle of expansion, a new cycle of growth for 12 years, okay? This is the first part I'm going to talk about because it's also Saturn moving through the next 3 years. We'll get to him in a second, okay? So like looking back for me, my sun, my Aquarius energy, is in the 5th house, okay? And I have other placements, I have a lot of Aquarius energy, but my sun, the main point we're talking about right now, is in the 5th house, okay? And it's also a touch in the 6th house, okay? It's in both, okay? And 12 years ago is when I got my driver's license, okay? And got more freedom in my day-to-day life. Okay, routine. This also is when, like, driving, just being in the car, music is my everything, okay? And so this is the first time when I was able to, like, jam the music alone, okay? Which, if you remember that first time, when you got your license, you understand me, okay? So that's also my 5th house self-expression. So it changed my routine, which is 6th house, which is my sun there, but also my sun's in the 5th of self-expression, okay? This is also the first time when I got my first job, which is also 6th house, kind of your routine and your service to others. I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, complete service, okay? I mean, I was getting paid, but like Boys and Girls Club. And I was teaching children, okay? And I also was doing, I was, the lead junior staff, and I also taught a dance class once a week to the kids, okay? And 5th house rules over children. And so Jupiter gave me the expansion of teaching 6th house and working for the first time, and also with children. 5th house, okay? This also was a time when I had just started back dance in 2008, because I had quit because I was getting bullied and just a whole bunch of stuff. And I started back with dance in 2008 when Jupiter had first moved into my fifth house of creative expression. Okay. And so this was the year when we got a new trainer, and he like was really focused on me to improve my technique, and like I was really focused on my body. Saturn was going through my first house, really restructured my body. Me and my family were going to the gym a lot at this time. I was learning about volleyball and learning about how to work out and different muscles and like all that kind of stuff at this time as well. Lots of self-expression, fifth house hobbies, things that bring you, that enjoyment as well. Um, so a lot was going on. Okay, what else was going on? There was so much that I keyed to so many things. Oh, this is also when I got my first little crush. Okay, that danced with me, and it started. It's been 12 years of understanding. Just attraction and understanding my self-expression and understanding working with children and understanding um, working for working in general. It's been 12 years of that, of employment, okay? Because, ever since 15, it was like job, okay? And just freedom and expression. That was also the time, that's what it was, the last one I'm going to speak on. I went to the inauguration, okay? And Obama, to me, back then was my first person that I really kind of looked up to. I never had idols growing up. I never really admired anyone super, super much, you know what I'm saying? But Obama really was a person that I looked to for many reasons, okay? And now looking back, he's a Gemini moon, okay? He's a Leo, and I'm an Aquarius, and he has Aquarius rising. So you get like, it's like, oh my God, like of course I would be in love with him. We have the same energy, okay? He's like, he helped me to see where I kind of want to go in the future, okay? But anyways, I went to his inauguration, and that was the first time that I had left home in that far of a distance alone. Okay, and so there was a lots of expansion that occurred. Okay, at that time, and it's been 12 years of that. Okay, and so just kind of think back, Aquarians, to what happened 2008, well, late 2008 through mainly 2009. What happened in 2009? Okay. Because that was when a lot of expansion occurred. You also have to know kind of the energy of your sun, like how your sun's affected. Like I have sun conjunct Saturn, so it's going to require some work when Jupiter goes by, but also have sun in a really nice aspect to Jupiter, so that's going to help the influence. So you kind of have to see how your sun affects things, but just notice that, okay, because Jupiter's coming through, all right? So we're entering a new cycle of expansion. So really think about for the next 12 years, where do you want to go? Okay, and I talked about this in a previous video. Children rule the fifth house. And I'm literally thinking about within this next 12 years, I definitely want to have children, okay? And then thinking about 12 years from now, I'll be 40. And that's going to be a time of really focusing on children in a whole new way, because they will be older than toddlers, which is when you really got to focus, you know what I'm saying, as a parent. And so it's just interesting to look at these cycles, okay? So my vision board for, going into 2021 is a whole 12-year cycle, but also it is a 30-year cycle because of Saturn. That's the second planet I want to talk about, okay? So that's Jupiter. And Jupiter is expansion, opportunities, confidence, abundance. The Sun and Jupiter love each other, so this is a really great energy. Excuse me. And it's a very optimistic, uplifting energy. If you've been going through it, in Aquarians, we've been going through it. Okay, we had Saturn, Jupiter moving through our 12th house, clearing us so much from the past. Okay, this past two years. But now we're having a reset energy. Okay, and so that's Jupiter hooking us up for 12 years, for the next 12 years, giving excuse me, expansion. Okay. And I'm hearing giving us a voice because I'm coughing, and now it's gone. So that's what I needed to say. Yeah. So giving us a voice, giving us opportunity to speak our truth. Okay, which is Aquarius, the water bearers. Okay, we're here to share our unique experiences and help others. Okay. And so we're going to be getting more power in that way. All right. Now Saturn. Okay. This is the first time this has happened to me because I'm less than 30. But if you're over the age of 30, you've had this occur before. Okay. In late 91 through late 93, okay, or maybe early 94, I'm not exactly sure, Saturn was moving through Aquarius, okay? So go back to where you were when that occurred. I was in birth, okay, because I have Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn's back in Aquarius, okay? And so we're in the Saturn return period, all right? But the thing about this, Aquarians, not only this is for your sun, okay? You might not have Saturn in Aquarius, you get what I'm saying? But Saturn's going to pass over our sun, okay, because we're Aquarians, and he's moving through Aquarius, okay? So the last time Saturn passed over your sun, Aquarius, was from late 1991, I believe, to early 94, around that time. And this was the time of what Saturn does at this time. He brings maturity. He brings new responsibilities. He also gives rewards of whatever you did the past 30 years. Okay. So if you were planting seeds of, envy, seeds of procrastination, excuse me. Sorry, I burned my throat earlier, so I'm just like been coughing. It's been terrible. Seeds of procrastination, seeds of doubt, seeds of not listening to, not being responsible, okay? You're going to get the rewards of that, okay, when Saturn passes over your sun. So Aquarius, if you have not been doing anything this past 30 years, the lessons are about to come, okay? But if you've been slowly building, listening, dealing with the restrictions, dealing with the patience test, listening to the lessons of Saturn, okay, building on yourself, gaining structures, learning to set boundaries, if you've been, actually doing the work, okay, this is the time to reap the benefits when Saturn passes over your sun, okay? And the rewards are long-lasting, okay? And so this is really great. Jupiter brings things in expansion for 12 years, but Saturn, when he passes over that sun, okay, it's going to be very pivotal, all right? Because it brings things and rewards that last for a long time, all right? Because you've been working on it for a long time. You've been working on it for 30 years, and he's been holding back the rewards for 30 years, and now he's like, okay, here you go, okay? And the thing about it is, if you were born in the time period I spoke on like I was, and also if you were born 30 years prior to that, okay, this is even more pivotal, and you're an Aquarius, okay, because you have your sun and your Saturn in Aquarius, okay? Like both my sun and Saturn in Aquarius. So this next 3 years, Saturn's going to pass over my sun, and where the So, finishing off what I was speaking on earlier, if you're born in the period from 91 to 94 and you're an Aquarius, and 30 years prior to that, or 30 years prior to that, you're going to be having like 2 Saturn returns, okay? Saturn passing over your Saturn, but also Saturn passing over your sun. And so these next 3 years are going to be super, super pivotal. And so just pay attention, my fellow Aquarians, to what occurs and where you're being led, because it's very, very karmic for us these next 3 years. We're going to be reaping the rewards of whatever we've been planting, okay? So that's part 2, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Had to give the message out to my fellow Aquas, okay? So much is going to be shifting for us, guys, over the next year, and especially over the next 3 years as well. So much love, guys. Talk to you later.